So let's talk about Wes Craven's The Hills Have Eyes. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1977 horror flick The Hills Have Eyes, released by Vanguard, written, directed, edited by Wes Craven. This would be his next big hit of a flick after The Last House on the Left. The film stars Susan Lanier along with Michael Berryman and Dee Wallace, plus a host of others. The film follows an average ordinary family, the Carters, along, with a group of cannibalistic savages who are targeting this suburban family after becoming stranded in the Nevada desert. Well, following The Last House on the Left, producer Peter Locke was interested in financing a similar project with Craven. He based the film's script on the legend of Scottish cannibal Swanee Bean, which Craven viewed as illustrating how supposedly civilized people could become savage. Various other influences on the film include The Grapes of Wrath and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The film was shot in the Mojave Desert. And I gotta say, this was incredible. The crew of the film were initially unenthusiastic about the project, but they became more passionate due to Craven's enthusiasm and came to believe that they were making something special. So let's get into the story. The suburban Carter family is traveling on vacation, towing a trailer en route to Los Angeles. Parents Bob and Ethel are driving, accompanied by their teenage children, Bobby, Brenda, eldest daughter Lynn, and her husband Doug, and their little baby daughter Katie, plus the family's dogs Beauty and Beast. In Nevada, they stop at Fred's Oasis for fuel, and Fred urges them to stay on the main road as they leave. Fred's truck suddenly explodes, dismissing Fred's warnings as a crazy person's ramblings. The Carters get startled by overhead aircraft and skid off the road and crash. The dogs become very panicky and start barking at the hills. Beauty then runs off into the hills, chasing after her. Bobby finds her mutilated body. Frightened, he runs, falls, and knocks himself unconscious. Bob walks back to Fred's Oasis to get help. As night falls, he finds Fred, who tells him about his son Jupiter. As a child, Jupiter killed the family's livestock and later murdered his sister. Fred attacked Jupiter with a tire iron, and left him in the hills to die. However, Jupiter survived and had children with a depraved alcoholic prostitute known as Mama. Together, they had 3 sons, Mars, Pluto, and Mercury, and an abused daughter, Ruby. The family led by Papa Jupiter survives by cannibalizing travelers and stealing supplies. Papa Jupiter suddenly crashes through a window, kills Fred with a tire iron, and takes Bob prisoner and crucifies him. Yikes. Brenda finds Bobby still shaken up about Beauty, and the two return to the trailer. Bobby does not mention Beauty's death to avoid frightening the rest of the family. Pluto sneaks to the trailer and signals Papa Jupiter to set Bob on fire as a distraction. Brenda stays in the trailer with Katie while Ethel, Lynn, Doug, and Bobby rush out to save Bob. But the cars eventually extinguish the fire, but unfortunately Bob dies shortly afterwards. As the cars extinguish the fire, Pluto and Mars ransack the camper, and Mars rapes Brenda. When Ethel and Lynn return, Mars shoots them both. Pluto abducts Katie, and the brothers flee, intending for the family to eat her. Ooh. Hearing their screams, Doug and Bobby rush back, only to find Lynn dead, Ethel mortally wounded, and Brenda traumatized. Okay, now to the ending. You know the procedure like always. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid the ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, please continue on after the 5 seconds is over with. Thank you, and here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Mars and Pluto return to their home, a cave. Beast pushes Mercury off a hilltop to his death. Mama chains Ruby outside the cave, torments her, and forces her to eat Beauty as punishment for sympathizing with the Carters. The next morning, shortly after Ethel dies, Doug sets out to find Katie, while Papa Jupiter and Pluto set out to kill the remaining family members. Beast tears Pluto's throat out. Brenda and Bobby use Ethel's corpse to trap and kill, as a trap to kill Papa Jupiter. Doug gets to the cave where he sees Ruby knocking out Mama and carrying Katie away. Doug catches up with Ruby, but Mars follows and attacks Doug. Excuse me again, everyone. Mars gains the upper hand, but Ruby interferes, enabling Doug to overpower him, and Doug then savagely stabs Mars and continues long after he is dead, whilst Ruby weeps and the screen fades to red with the words "The End" on it. And then our credits. End of story. So what did I think of The Hills Have Eyes? I gotta say, this is definitely a good movie. Don't get me wrong. Now, I like the performances we got from everyone here in the cast. We have, as the Carters, we have Russ Grieve as Bob, Virginia Vincent as Ethel, Susan Lanier as Brenda, Robert Houston as Bobby, plus Dee Wallace as Lynn, Martin Spear as Doug, and Brenda Marinoff as baby Katie. Now, as for the rest, we have John Stedman as Fred. That was pretty good, but I gotta give credit to the people who played the cannibalistic clan. James Whitworth as Papa Jupiter, Cordy Clark as Mama, Lance Gordon as Mars, Michael Berryman as Pluto, Pierre Locke as Mercury, well, he was credited as Arthur King, and Janice Blythe as Ruby. Yeah. Still, I have to give credit for this. This film was just so awesome. And I gotta say, this is one horror flick that's really worth looking into. This was, I don't know, it was just so incredible. Film did pretty well, and Craven went on to direct a sequel to the film, which came out 8 years later, which after he had success with Nightmare on Elm Street. Craven made the film to turn The Hills Have Eyes into a series, just like Halloween and Friday the 13th. But unfortunately, the sequel, I wanted to review this, but I decided to stay the hell with it. I mean, that sequel's alright, but it's not quite that great though. In the late 80s, Craven considered making a film in the series set in outer space, but it never came to fruition. Now, there's an unrelated Wes Craven project called Mind Ripper from 1995 that was originally going to be a third Hills Have Eyes movie, but it was rewritten so that it never directly refers to this or part 2. Now, Mind Ripper still has the alternative title of The Hills Have Eyes 3. In 2006, there would be a remake directed by Alexandra Aja. I was going to review that, but I'm putting that on hold. And then the following year, a sequel followed, which Wes and his son Jonathan wrote the sequel for. The script for. Whoops. Still, nonetheless, the story's pretty good. Don Peake's score for this was really good. I have to give that some credit. So, with a pretty good cast, a good story, and a good score, and what have you, and good direction by Wes Craven, and what have you, in the end, would I recommend The Hills Have Eyes? Hell yeah! This is one film you need to check out. The Hills Have Eyes is definitely worth looking into. I'd say definitely watch this. The film's on Tubi. You can probably find it on other streaming services if you have it. It is on DVD and Blu-ray as well, as if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, it recently got released on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. So anyway, the film went on to make 25 million at the box office. So now you know that. So, what are your thoughts on The Hills Have Eyes? Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, consider checking out these other two Wes Craven films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Scream from 1996. Or if you want something that's not related to Wes Craven, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review for Halloween Kills. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.